Okay, so what is? In publishing and graphic design, Lorem Ipsum is a placeholder text commonly used to demonstrate the visual form of a document or a typeface without relying on meaningful content. Lorem Ipsum may be used as a placeholder before final copy is available. It is also used to temporarily replace text in a process called Greeking, which allows designers to consider the form of a web page or publication, without the meaning of the text influencing the design. Lorem Ipsum is typically a corrupted version of De Finibus Bonorum et Malorum, a 1st century BC text by the Roman statesman and philosopher Cicero, with words altered, added, and removed to make it nonsensical and improper Latin. Versions of the Lorem Ipsum text have been used in typesetting at least since the 1960s, when it was popularized by advertisements for letraset transfer sheets. Lorem Ipsum was introduced to the digital world in the mid-1980s, when Aldus employed it in graphic and word processing templates for its desktop publishing program PageMaker. Other popular word processors including Pages and Microsoft Word have since adopted Lorem Ipsum, as have many LaTeX packages, web content managers such as Joomla and WordPress, and CSS libraries such as Semantic UI. So where does Lorem Ipsum come from? The Lorem Ipsum text is derived from sections 11032 and 11033 of Cicero's De Finibus Bonorum et Malorum. The physical source may have been the 1914 Loeb Classical Library edition of De Finibus, where the Latin text, presented on the left-hand, even, pages, breaks off on page 34 with Nec poro quis quam est qui do and continues on page 36 with Lorem Ipsum, suggesting that the galley type of that page was mixed up to make the dummy text seen today. The discovery of the text's origin is attributed to Richard McClintock, a Latin scholar at Hampton Sydney College. McClintock connected Lorem Ipsum to Cicero's writing sometime before 1982 while searching for instances of the Latin word consectetur, which was rarely used in classical literature. McClintock first published his discovery in a 1994 letter to the editor of Before and After magazine, contesting the editor's earlier claim that Lorem Ipsum held no meaning. The relevant section of Cicero as printed in the source is reproduced below with fragments used in Lorem Ipsum underlined. Letters in brackets were added to Lorem Ipsum and were not present in the source text. Sed ut perspiciatus, unde omnis est natus error sit voluptatem accusantium dolorem glaudantium, totum ramapirium ec ipsa, quia billo inventor veritatis et quasi architecto vitae vitae dicta sunt, explicabo. Nemo enim ipsum voluptatem, quia voluptas sit, aspernatur aut odit aut fugit, sed quia consequuntur magni doloris eos, qui rationi voluptatem sequi nesciunt, nec poro quis quam est, qui do Lorem Ipsum, quia dolor sit amit consectetur adipiscus velit, sed quia non numquam eis modi tempora incidunt, ut labor et dolor magnam aliquam querit voluptatem. Ut enim ad minima veniam, quis nostrum exercitationem olam corporis suscipit laboriosam, nisi ut alicid ex ea commodi consequator? Quis autem vel eum ire reprehendrit, qui in ea voluptate velit esse, quam nihil molestia consequator, vel illum, qui dolorem eum fugiat, quo voluptas nulla periator? Et vero eos et accusamus et isto odio dignissimos ducimus, qui blanditis presentium voluptatum delenitiat corrupti, quos doloris et quas mols tias excepturi sint, obsecati cupiditate non provident, similique sunt in culpa, qui officia disrunt malitia animi. Idest labrum et dolorem fuga. Et herum quidem rerum facilis est et expedita distinctio. Nam libero tempor, cum saluta nobis est elegendi optio, cum nihil impedit, quo minus id, quod maxime placeat, facere pos imus, omnis voluptas assumenda est, omnis dolor repellendus. Temporibus autem quibus dam et aut officius debitus aut rerum necessitatibus cipi even yet, ut et voluptates repudiandi sint et molestia non recusandi. Itac eram rerum hic tenitura sapient delectus, ut riciendis voluptatibus mires alias consequator aut perferendis doloribus asperiores repellat. What follows is H. Rackham's translation, as printed in the Loeb Classical Library edition, with words at least partially represented in Lorem Ipsum underlined. But I must explain to you how all this mistaken idea of reprobating pleasure and extolling pain arose. To do so, I will give you a complete account of the system, and expound the actual teachings of the great explorer of the truth, the master builder of human happiness. No one rejects, dislikes, or avoids pleasure itself, because it is pleasure, but because those who do not know how to pursue pleasure rationally encounter consequences that are extremely painful. Nor again is there anyone who loves or pursues or desires to obtain pain of itself, because it is pain, but occasionally circumstances occur in which toil and pain can procure him some great pleasure. To take a trivial example, which of us ever undertakes laborious physical exercise, except to obtain some advantage from it? But who has any right to find fault with a man who chooses to enjoy a pleasure that has no annoying consequences, or one who avoids a pain that produces no resultant pleasure? On the other hand, we denounce with righteous indignation and dislike men who are so beguiled and demoralized by the charms of pleasure of the moment, so blinded by desire, that they cannot foresee the pain and trouble that are bound to ensue. An equal blame belongs to those who fail in their duty through weakness of will, which is the same as saying through shrinking from toil and pain. These cases are perfectly simple and easy to distinguish. In a free hour, when our power of choice is untrammeled and when nothing prevents our being able to do what we like best, every pleasure is to be welcomed and every pain avoided. But in certain circumstances and owing to the claims of duty or the obligations of business, it will frequently occur that pleasures have to be repudiated and annoyances accepted. The wise man therefore always holds in these matters to this principle of selection: he rejects pleasures to secure other greater pleasures, or else he endures pains to avoid worse pains. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, then please like and subscribe. Or you can check out the latest videos in the series on well-known innovator Alan Turing, or our April Fool's video on heartthrob Lola Bunny. There is a new video every day, so please check back tomorrow.